Hey there folks, and good morning and welcome back for another shaving video. Before I get to the shaving video today, I wanted to make a note about the Icon El Jefe razor. I did get back a $15 refund on this yesterday and I didn't ask, so I did think that was a nice thing for Icon to do, to give a partial refund even without me asking, because of that blade wiggle issue. I thought it was nice of them. I realize some people won't be satisfied, but I didn't ask for a refund and they gave it, so I just thought it was a nice gesture and I thought I would mention it to you guys. Okay, today we are going to use Razorock Tuscan Oud, or however you say that. This is about $1.90 or maybe a little over an ounce, but less than $2. Scent on this is about a 3.5 to 4. It's not super fragrant out of the tub, but sometimes these Razorock soaps become a little more fragrant as you load them. And today we're going to use the Razorock Big Bruce, which is a really nice brush. I think it's on sale, or was, for $10.99, which is crazy. Anyway, I wanted to mention a young man who watches my videos named Christopher, and I won't mention his dad's name, but his dad reached out to me yesterday over the sofa session I did this weekend, and he was not happy about the language that I used in that video because his son watches it. And I got to make a couple of points on that. The first point is, I can never criticize any parent who's looking out for their children. I can't, and I won't. And the individual used his real name when he emailed, so he was like, he gave me his perspective. It's a valid perspective, and I thought I would just address it with Christopher, his son, so I hope he watches this video. First of all, Christopher, you got a wonderful dad that cares about you, and there's nothing better than that. The second thing I would say is, and I've learned this in my own life now that I've gotten older, your dad's going to tell you a lot of stuff right now which you'll think, it goes in one ear and out the other, and you don't pay it much attention. But when you get my age, you will then say, Dad was right. So your dad is obviously a good man. He's looking out for your interests, and that makes you a very lucky individual, because there are a lot of people who don't have fathers like that in this country. And as to the language, Christopher, I'll say that is language that sometimes adults use. It doesn't make it appropriate. When they're trying to emphasize a point, or maybe they're exasperated, having a bad day, it's not professional. It's not the type of language you want to use around your kids or family or at your job. People try to justify it, and it is the way I felt at that time. However, this is not the type of language you want to be using at school or at home, or really to become even part of your normal repertoire of language. So that's where I stand on that. I don't run from the fact that I used it, because it is genuinely the way I felt at that time. But it's not the type of language I use around my son, my daughter, at work, or in my daily life. So keep that in mind, Christopher. And as you get older, all these things will become obvious. But for now, thank your dad for looking out for you. I don't take that negatively in terms of his dad reaching out to me. I think it's wonderful that he cares enough about his son to mention that. So that's where I stand. All right, let's wet the face and get going. Stay tuned. A lot of people would take a different perspective on an email like that and think, oh, somebody's trying to tell me what to do, and blah, 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 they should man up. And I don't look at it that way. This is a guy, like I said, who used his real name, who, really had a valid concern, and he voiced it. And there are too many kids in this country who don't have fathers that care about them, so I'm not in a position to criticize, nor would I, a father trying to lead his son down the right path. I think that's to be applauded and not sneered at. Some people will sneer at it because they'll say, oh, man up, he's going to be exposed to it, and he will. But I took it in a positive way. And so far as here's a guy he's trying to do the best by his son, and I cannot argue with that. Just can't do it. And won't. So, sir, and I won't mention your name, but good on you. Well, what I will say is there are likely other videos in my mini where I've used similar language. Not a lot, but there are some. I do try not to do it, for the reasons I mentioned, but every now and then when you reach a certain point, it does happen. It's nothing really to be proud of. But then again, when you do something, you can't run from it. You got to own it, and I do. So, but what I will say is I can certainly do a better job of making a disclaimer. So if there are families watching, they can sort of tune away from those videos. Not that I plan on, dropping a lot of foul language in my videos, but if it does happen, I will definitely try to remember to put a disclaimer up there. That's probably the least anybody can do. Okay, that was a great first pass. Let's come back for pass 2. This soap, by the way, has lanolin in it, which does wonders for the skin, at least for me. Now, again, every time I mention it, there are some people who feel the effect of lanolin is a pure placebo effect. I don't know. It could be, but my own experience is that it does help with the post. That's what I believe. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I don't think so, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility that I'm wrong. But no lathering woes here. Again, for less than $2 an ounce, this is a really, really nice soap, and the scent does pick up a little bit when you have it on your face. If for no other reason, then it's closer to your nose. But it's a really nice soap, I think, for less than $2 an ounce, which is phenomenal. That's a great price. Good stuff. And we're using the Razorock Black Mamba, by the way, which is a nice mild shaver. And it's doing a lovely job today, this Tuesday, and each day we're getting closer to the election, and I'll be glad when it's over. What a mess. What a mess. And people from outside the U.S. laugh at us because it is a little embarrassing. But you know what? We're Americans. We own it. And to be honest with you, we don't really care too much when other people laugh at us. We laugh at ourselves. And we are right now with these two jokers for candidates. Is it the best we could offer? Absolutely not. Is it what we have? Yeah. So we have to deal with it. But, sometimes you don't get what you want. And these two candidates are not what I want. Anyway, let's rinse the face, come back to pass 3. My Band-Aid's coming off. Yesterday I was reaching behind something and my wife had some stained glass propped up. And I cut the best out of myself on that stupid glass. So no, I didn't cut myself with a razor blade. Although, a couple of years ago, I got a nice cut when I grabbed what I did was, I mentioned it before. There was a razor blade package like this that was on a shelf, and it was, a little high up. And I grabbed it, and I went to wad it up like this, only it had a blade in it. So I cut one of my fingers pretty good. And so, yeah, I have cut myself with a blade before. So don't leave any of those wrappers laying around. I just thought it was an empty wrapper, not paying attention, and next thing you know, I didn't even feel it. I felt blood dripping on my, or something wet dripping on my foot. And I looked down, and then it began to sting. So, be careful. And of all things, that was a derby blade, which I don't even use. So, you know, it's kind of revenge of the derby for me talking badly about them and not wanting to use them. It'll cut you. Any of these blades are capable of cutting you. So you do have to be mindful of your technique. Now with a razor like this, which is more mild, it's not quite as easy to cut yourself. It does a pretty good job of actually protecting you from yourself. But you can still cut yourself. If you make any motion horizontally with that blade in it, when it's oriented this way, you're going to cut yourself. So always make sure if it's oriented like this, you're making up and down or diagonal, but never straight across. And that's for you, Christopher. It should be common sense, and I'm sure you know that, but you can slip sometimes and not pay attention. And of course, you can do that with a cart razor too. So about the only razor you can get away with that with entirely would be a electric razor, which don't shave very close. Even the expensive ones from Braun, you know, they just do an okay job at best, because I had one and I'm sure I paid, it was well over $200 for it, and it didn't do a very good job. Although it did a better job than a cheap electric shaver, I will say that. But compared to the shaves I get today, it's not even in the same realm. These shaves are significantly better, more comfortable. So, all right. Looks like we've got a wonderful shave. We'll come back and do the post. Stay tuned. All right, so let's get on with the post. Thayer's Magic, because it's made by witches. Very, very nice. And then, Band-Aid's coming off, I'm going to use the Razorock Tuscan Oud aftershave, which is nice as well. Well-priced aftershaves that hang around. I really like them. And we will see how we do with this today. Oh, that smells fantastic. I never mentioned what this smells like, and to be honest with you, I can't tell you. It's sort of spicy. And that's about all I can tell you, but it smells nice. You can look up maybe the way it's described and get more on that front. But had a very nice shave today. Let's just review the equipment real quick. With the Razorock Tuscan Oud. And of course we use the same aftershave there. As well as this was all Razorock day. The Razorock Black Mamba and the Razorock Big Bruce. All Razorock today. And I had a wonderful shave. Face feels great, and it sets us off on a path for a great day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day too. And Christopher, remember, always listen to your dad. Until next time, let's make America shave again.